Hey guys, welcome back to 𝐸𝐬𝐬, the cooking channel that's not so useless. In this video, we'll be steaming up some pork patty with preserved vegetables. It's a dish that you probably grew up with, and it's another staple meal that's great with rice. And to make this iconic dish, you'll need pork mince, dark soy sauce, light soy sauce, cooking wine, water, sugar, salt, vegetable oil, preserved vegetable, and cornstarch. For the quantities, we'll separate them into two batches. So batch 1, we have 230 grams of pork mince, 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, a third teaspoon of sugar, a quarter teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, and 3 tablespoons of water. And for batch 2, we have 60 grams of preserved vegetables, and I believe these are from a mustard plant, 1 teaspoon of wine, third teaspoon of sugar, and 2.5 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Now to make this dish, you'll need to do 3 key things. Prep the ingredients, marinate the pork and preserved vegetables, then steam it together. But before we begin, if you do enjoy this video, do consider subscribing, as it does help the channel out. First up, we'll need to wash the preserved vegetables. Now, there are many different types of Chinese preserved vegetables, and I believe that the type that we're using is from a mustard plant, though I'm not 100% on this, so if anyone can correct me, please do so in the comments. With your first wash, try your best to wash out the dirt from between the stems. And then in your second wash, unravel the leaves and wash any trapped dirt out. Then with your third wash, cut or rip the stems from the base, and cut off any hard ends. Then rehydrate them for about half an hour. Now for our pork belly, which is washed, dried, and skin removed. We like to mince it by hand since we can control the granule size. It's fine to just buy pork mince from the butchers. This is just us being us. Cut the pork into thin slices. Then gently compress them and slice into strips. Then rotate the pork 90 degrees and dice it. Now onto the fun part. Using the bottom portion of your cleaver, mince the pork, then fold and repeat. And if you want to look cool, then use 2 cleavers if you have them. Then continue mincing for about 5 minutes, or until the mince size is to your fancy. Back to the preserved vegetables. After half an hour, bunch them up by their stems, and cut off any rotten pieces. Then fold and squeeze out as much of the water as possible. Then we'll want to mince the vegetables. But first, separate the leaves from the stems, and unravel the leaves. Then make parallel cuts into the leaves before we slice it. If you're having difficulty slicing all of them at once, take some of the stems and move it to the back. And with that, prep is done. Now, you'll most definitely have too much preserved vegetables for one serving, so portion them into freezable bags and freeze for use whenever you want. To start off, we'll marinate the preserved vegetables. In a bowl, mix the preserved vegetables with the sugar and cooking wine. Then add in the vegetable oil and mix well. And that's pretty much it. Now, the pork. In a big bowl, add your pork mince, sugar, salt, dark soy sauce, and light soy sauce. And then mix until the ingredients are evenly spread. Mix your cornstarch and water together to make a cornstarch slurry. Now, if you want your steamed pork patty to be saltier, then you'll want to add less water during this stage. Then add in the slurry in small amounts and mix until even. Once you're done with the pork mince, mix the pork and vegetables together. And once you're done, you're ready to steam it. Transfer your pork patty into your steaming dish. And gently loosen the pork patty in your dish. But make sure you absolutely do not press the patty down tight. You want the patty to come out nice and light after steaming, not dense. And we're going to be a bit old-fashioned and use that pig skin to good use. Next, boil some water in a kettle, then pour it into your steamer. Then turn the heat on high, and put the lid on and wait until the water boils. Once boiling, put the pork patty into the steamer, and cover with a plate to prevent any condensation falling into it. Then put the lid on and let it steam for 12 minutes. 12 minutes later, take the steamed pork patty out. And garnish with whatever you want. And with that, your steamed pork patty with preserved vegetables is done. So guys, that was my family's recipe for steamed pork patty with preserved vegetables. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you ever get the chance to make this at home, be sure to tell us how it goes. And if you want to see any of our future videos, be sure to subscribe. See ya.